Peaky Blinders is a masterpiece that we are lucky to be able to watch at the same century it filmed. And I'm sure if you watch this video, you will think the same, because we are gonna be breaking down one of the best scene filmed ever in Peaky Blinders. It's where Tommy Shelby and Luca Changretta met for the first time. What makes this scene so special is incredible writing. I think who wrote these sentences should be called genius.
So every stitch, stitched with blood.
Incredible acting, directing and delivery. Everything you see in this scene has a deeper meaning, especially their body language. And in this video you will learn meaning of some common body language gestures, how well the actors act, and what is the deeper meaning of their sentences. Enjoy watching. Scene starts with Lucas walking into the room.
Shelby, this is Monsieur Paz from Paris.
You see, he's walking very slowly. Moving slowly is a sign of confidence. If you are lack of confidence, you start to move faster, and that reduces your control over situations. Also, he combines that walk with masculine shoulder swing. And notice here, his head is a little down and slightly forward. You can see sometimes Tommy walks like that too. That tells us they're focused and on the alert for everything. And here is Tommy realizes that this guy is different. Even just walking with confidence can get you noticed. So he locks his eyes to him. That's a powerful level of eye contact. Making eye contact indicates love and attention, but staring is a form of which used to threaten the person.
I heard you had trouble. It's good of you to see me.
Here's 4 things to be spotted. Luca breaks eye contact by first looking down, and then looking left, adjusting his sleeves, and clasps his hands in front. First, probably everyone knows that breaking eye contact by looking down indicates of acknowledging the other person's authority. Remember when your mother scolded you? Most of you were probably bowing your head and accepting your mom's presence. And adjusting his sleeves indicates that he is lack of confidence. The meaning of this move is the same as closing the arms or clasping hands in front completely. They usually do it when they feel nervous and want to create a barrier to protect themselves. You can see many people doing this move in front of camera or crowd. Overall, Luca is looking like a loser. But this move is conflicting with others. You see, he breaks eye contact by looking left. Breaking eye contact by looking side indicates that you want to release the tension raised. But normally, you wouldn't do that when you're talking.
I heard you had trouble.
It's a move to do before you start to talk. Looking to the side while speaking means that you don't take the other person seriously and aren't even strong enough to pay attention. So you don't have to keep an eye on them, because you think you are already stronger.
It's good of you to see me.
Also, he raises his chin when he clasps his hands. Raising chin indicates that you are confident, you want to establish and show your authority, but at the same time he clasps his hands, which indicates of fear and being nervous. That conflict with his other moves is important. And I will explain the reason later, but for now it's possible to say that his body language doesn't seem like together. Bowing his head and accepting Tommy's authority, then looking to left and says, "You are not even worthy of my attention." Clasps his hands to create a barrier which indicates of fear and raises his chin. There's just too much conflict here. Tommy probably realized that too, so he continues to read him and,
You just came from Paris, eh?
besides body language, verbal war has started right now. This is the second trick Tommy uses often. It's called state-breaking question. It's about asking a question which will break and redirect the conversation in a way you want. Tommy basically says, "I will not play your game. You are gonna play my game."
You know Paris?
Luca doesn't even answer. Instead, he asks his own state-breaking question and takes a seat without even asking. Can you guess what's the meaning of taking action without asking? Just comment below.
I left Paris in a cattle truck.
This is one of those rare moments when Tommy answers a question. But of course, there's a plan behind that answer. And Luca is looking completely different. Let's break down. First, stippling gesture. This is a form of demonstrating power. It's often used by lawyers or politicians. Usually the person with the higher power is the one doing the stippling. And the higher the power, the higher on the body the stippling will be. Second, he tilts his head sideways. This is a very common sign of high interest and focus on the part of the person doing the tilting. And pay attention which chair he sits. It's one of the heads of the table. Sitting on the chair at the head of the table shows everyone that you have the table. You are the game, and you are the one who holds power. For example, in this scene, Tommy sits at the head of the table because he's the host. He has the power there. He's the one who created the table by making them mad. Many of the CEO or president sits at the head of the table. Back in this scene, Luca's current body language looks so dominant overall. He sits at the chair of the head of the table with stippling gesture and tilting his head sideways. Basically tells that think twice before you say something because I'm focused to every word that comes out of your mouth and I'm the boss here.
I said you were French.
And he breaks eye contact by looking side. But he doesn't keep it long. Just after a split seconds, he locks his eyes again and asks another question. Tommy uses this trick after when he's under pressure.
No, I came here from Paris. That does not mean I'm French.
You see, he's fidgeting his hands. Sometimes when you feel nervous, you may unwittingly fidget your hands, legs or play with something on the table like pencil or anything. Luca was looking like dominant and sound really confident, but he's still nervous a little bit. He does every gestures which indicates confidence and power on purpose, but he still feels nervous and scared subconsciously. That's probably because of the one who killed his father and brother is in front of him. So if it's because of that, then it's understandable. But if it's not, then the only meaning of that, he just plays with Tommy with acting like unconfident. And you will realize which one is. Just continue to watch.
Guess where I'm from?
He emphasizing his words with leaning in.
Guess where I'm from?
Did you catch this? If you, comment below. If you didn't, he's inhaling. It's a sign of he needs the oxygen because he's nervous. And in order to release this stress, he wants to smoke. Also, he may want to check if his gun is still there since he realized this guy is a troublesome, so he may need it.
We were American soldiers. We played cards. I sound like you.
You see, that another trick Tommy uses often. He adds breaks between his words.
We were American soldiers. We played cards.
That gives him enough time to think and calculate well.
I sound like you.
Also, instead of answering the question directly, he tells a story as every charismatic person do, which has a connection to both his previous and next answer. Telling story gives you the flexibility of making a change in answer or give another message with the answer.
Yeah. Did you win?
And here is, instead of smoking, he just pulls out a toothpick. This has the same work as Tommy's cigarette. Both of them just releases tension which raised every second. Also, they are testing each other here. It would be the same moves to get a gun. So by doing this, you can know if the opponent is afraid or anxious.
You didn't come on a train. Your suit is pressed, your shoes are clean.
Tommy continues to read him. He's about to realize this guy is Luca Changretta.
Where'd you get your suits made?
And he asks a random question just to have more time to think.
I'm a tailor. New York City.
He told that he's from New York.
Look. Bonacci. Italian. It's my uncle.
This answer is really remarkable. You see, he's very confident with a big smile and calm voice, because he thought he can strike a big blow with this topic. Verbal warfare is just getting more and more exciting.
I heard you dress well, Mr. Shelby. But now I see. Not so well as me.
He told that he's from New York, which is a new information about himself. Since he entered the room, he reveals information about himself very slowly. And that makes Tommy nervous because he tries to figure out who is this guy. Seems like Luca is having really fun with that. Also, the opening jacket move is crucial here. He's not trying to just show him that he's dressing better than Tommy. He could have just opened the side of the jacket where the label was placed. But he opened both sides, meaning that he wants to show he's not carrying a gun. He realized Tommy is good at observing, and he wants to test what will do Tommy after he show him that he's unarmed. because Tommy's reaction after this will lead the end of the conversation. You will see it later.
He is my uncle. So every stitch, stitched with blood.
The conversation about the suit has a really deeper meaning, stitched with blood. He basically says that they keep business only in the family and they are trusting each other, to their blood.
I heard you dress well, Mr. Shelby. But now I see. Not so well as me.
And when Luca said that, he implies that Tommy's organization is nothing compared to his family. Also, he's becoming more aggressive now. Look at this body language. He's emphasizing his words with his moves and strong eye contact. Fingers on the temple gesture. You see many chess players or students do this when they are thinking. But sometimes, people can do that when they have negative thoughts on the person they talk to. Gives a little breath. There's clearly contempt here. Look at his eyebrows and forehead wrinkles. It usually happens when the person is surprised, stressed, worried, or about to getting offensive.
I have uncles as well.
And in this moment, it's because of being about to say something offensive and getting nervous because of that.
But they're not the sort of men who would work in a basement with a needle and thread.
He basically says my uncles are just higher up than yours in terms of presence. They're not type of guys who work in a basement. Really good payback here. And here, he plays with his toothpick. That could be also fidgeting, but not actually in this case. He's not even looking at Thomas when he's talking and gives his attention to a toothpick. That's mean is, I don't care you. You are not even worthy of my attention as much as this toothpick. It's really disrespectful. You can see some people plays with their hairs or cleaning own nails when they are talking to. That means they are not giving you their attention as much as their hairs or own nails. But this case is worse than them because it's not even a part of his body. Just a random, small and worthless object.
Mr. Changretta.
And now, finally Changretta's mask is off. Play is over, and it's time to get serious.
I am surprised how easy it was to get into a room with you.
And now?
Forehead wrinkles again, sign of getting offensive here. And here, really common sign of being surrendered. Showing palms indicates that my hands are clean, I don't hide anything, you are the power here, I'm surrender and at your command. He does this very slowly with confidence. And also his test is over here, because he saw that Tommy will not fight honorably. Knowing that Luca was unarmed, he pulled a gun.
Now. And now you should know that during the trouble you had earlier on your factory floor, I sent an accomplice into your office in overalls. He found your gun and unloaded it.
The sign of scorn and anger. This sign is very popular among the animals, especially in dogs and primates. It says, I can attack, I can bite you if it's necessary. You see nostril flaring. This lets more oxygen to enter the body, and nostril wings lifted from the eyebrows. Those are the signs of preparing for a fight or treat someone. If you see someone shows that signs, 100% they're about to attack, so take your guard. He changed from shy, unconfident, and contradictory attitude to an aggressive, confident and strong one. This is where all that fake unconfident acts are over. He was just having fun with Tommy with fake acting, but now he's finally serious. After checking his gun, he realized he's got played hard, so he looks down and didn't react because he's shocked. And here is classic mafioso things. Tommy remembered he need to keep him strong, so he lifted his head and made eye contact again even under pressure.
Molly Gray.
Look at this lip licking. Tommy is really stressed right now.
Michael Gray.
Guys, can you imagine how hard it for Tommy to stand and listen? A guy who killed his brother came to his room easily, took the power seat, puts up a mask that is difficult to read, he finds out who is this guy hardly when he was just having fun with him, pulls his gun to take revenge of his brother's death, and realizes his bullets are taken from his gun. And this guy putting those bullets on his table with giving each of them a target from his family. Who wrote this iconic scene is a genius. And notice, even when he's threatening Tommy, there's no more fidgeting, any sign of being unconfident. That confirms he was just having fun with Tommy with fake acting before. Because this is where he should be nervous the most, but there's no sign of that.
John Shelby. Spent.
And this, guys, even I felt that with just watching. I can't imagine how Tommy put up with that. Really iconic and well written scene. Tommy still keeps his cool. He decided to be non-reactive because he's got destroyed really bad. This is another trick when Tommy uses under pressure.
Need a thorn. And finally. Tommy Shelby.
A little lifted nostril wings and nostril flare again, we already talked about those. This way of standing up. There's so much scenes characters standing up like that. People do it when they have the table and the power there. Also you should do this too. It's just a simple trick which will make you have more charisma instantly.
None of you will survive.
Pointing finger. This is a universal sign of showing your authority.
Your level of security is pitiful.
Slow walk, slow talk, and not even looking at Tommy. He is strong and confident.
We are an organization of a different dimension.
When he's talking, he doesn't even give his attention to Tommy. I explained that already, but when he emphasizes his words and threatens him, he always makes eye contact. That makes him more dominant than someone who makes eye contact always.
I could have killed you when I walked through the door. But you see,
Shoulder swing, slow walk, and raised chin. He's just giving a vibe of monster right now.
I want you to be the last.
Till here, he dominated Tommy in every way. That's the first time for Tommy getting beaten like that. You may say, they are just talking. No, my friends, they are not. I know it looks like that, but these characters are experts on reading body language and verbal meanings. While they are not fighting physically, they are certainly engaged in a greater verbal warfare than ever before you have seen.
I want you to be the last. I want you to be alive after your entire family is dead.
Here's a little sneering again.
'Cause my mother says that is what hurt you the most.
Notice here, Tommy just stressed really bad. He's completely frozen. That happens when you are scared or nervous badly. But also, it's his strategy to be non-reactive. So it could be both of them, but I can say he has stress clearly.
You people have traditions of honor, as do we.
He shows his neck again and doesn't even looking at Tommy when he is closer to him. You should be especially afraid of your enemy if you are closer to him. But he just doesn't. I believe you can guess what that means too, because we already talked about that.
Instead of sending me a black hand, I could have had you killed in the night. I don't know why. But I want you to know why.
Swallowing here, he's really under pressure badly.
And I want to suggest to you that we fight this vendetta with honor.
And that's what I was talking about. He offered to fight honorably, and Tommy dropped his gun because that was a reference to Tommy's pulling his gun when he saw Luca is unarmed.
No civilians, no children.
No police.
And the most charismatic declaration of our all time.
Welcome to Birmingham, Mr. Changretta.
as I said, this scene is a masterpiece in many ways. Brilliantly written script. Every word has a deep meaning and purpose here. Brilliantly acted. Acting is already hard, but these little details actors cared and displayed are what makes this scene so professional. Congratulations to both Cillian Murphy and Adrien Brody for their acting performance. This color grade, objects, characters' position, even the light is perfectly designed. And all of those are making this scene one of the best scenes ever filmed. Alright guys, that was it for the video. Comment below what you think. And if it's helpful for you, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.